Wow.
Happy birthday. That's
Happy.
not the intro.
What? Whose birthday?
No, it's
I was
nobody's
going with it
birthday.
too. I was like, yeah, happy birthday.
It's nobody's birthday.
Are
I
you
don't know why I
sure?
said happy birthday.
Happy. No.
Happy
Welcome
birthday
to. Stop. No, this isn't Grimace. This
to
isn't Grimace.
you. I'm sick.
Are you sick?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You never get sick.
I know. Every time I come home to my parents' house, I get sick. It's weird.
Welcome to Telly Talk, where we talk about what is on the telly, and by that we mean what's on our minds. Because we're Telly.
Am I recording?
You better be. This is good shit.
I am recording. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Harry.
And I'm
No.
Sally.
I'm Tyler, actually. But we're doing the. Do you remember when we met? Do you remember when we met in
Yeah.
like 1980?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing When Harry Met Sally because we watched it and
It's for
it's
New
New Year's
Year's.
Eve. And it's New Year's. And speaking of New Year's, you should go watch our Best of Telly 2023 video
Yeah.
that should be out about now. We have delicately combed through each of our videos of the year and have picked out the funniest bits for your amusement.
I feel like we really sound like we're on a radio show today because we got our radio voices on.
Are these our radio voices?
Kinda. Because usually
Are they different?
we're like hyped up and loud, but because we're in crowded
Oh,
spaces, we're a
We're
bit more
like
quiet.
we have our like calm jazz tune home voices on.
Yeah.
Put some jazz in the background of this
Some
episode.
light jazz. I'll do it, yeah.
Why'd I cough? I didn't have to cough.
I have to cough.
Okay, good. What the hell was that? That was terrifying. Today we're talking about, I already said this, the movie When Harry Met Sally, which I had never seen before, but you said it was about New Year's, so I watched it, and there was like 2 different New Year scenes, so I guess your
Yeah.
point is valid.
Well, the whole ending is surrounded by New Year's,
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
so it's cute.
It's cute. What are your thoughts on it? I have very few.
I love this movie. This is like the only rom-com I actually like.
Wait, I was gonna say, another thing in my file cabinet, it says here on this paper, that you hate rom-coms, and I was watching
I
this
do.
movie, and I was like, is Soul aware at all that this is like a really standard rom-com?
Yeah.
I was very confused.
This is the only rom-com I
'Cause
like.
I like rom-coms. I like comedy, I like romance. And together they're more enjoyable than they are separate. And I was watching this movie and I was like, man, this guy sounds really familiar. This voice. He has such like a
Yeah.
particular
Familiar.
voice.
Yeah, it's so neat.
It's like
so...
that, you know, that voice.
Yeah.
And I look it up and I go, Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
This is Mike Wazowski?
Yeah. That's Mike
Like,
Wazowski.
his voice is so unique.
In the 80s. Yeah.
I didn't know Mike Wazowski did in-person things.
In person, live action movies?
Yeah.
Billy Crystal?
I didn't know if anyone knew Mike Wazowski
He's done
in
a
person.
lot. He rarely does animated movies.
Well, that's what he's best known for.
By children. By our generation, yes.
Monsters, Inc. has been around for a long time.
When did it come out? Like 99? 2000?
2001, thank you very much. You're right.
Yeah. Not very long. Mike Wazowski, Billy Crystal, he looks like...
I liked how much his appearance changed throughout the movie. Like, sometimes he would just,
yeah,
like,
when he got
have
older.
no facial hair, and sometimes he would, like, have a stubble, and sometimes he grew, like, a full beard, and I was like, man, they're really showing these time progressions here. I respect it.
Yeah, because every time they would go apart, it would be a 5-year interval
A 5-year gap.
when they would get back together. But
Yeah, it was like 5 years and 5 years, and then they were friends for 2 years, right?
he really looked like... as I was
He looked
watching
like he was
it,
aging.
when he was in his younger years, he reminded me of someone, and I was like, he looks so familiar, and he kind of looks like and sounds like Evan Peters.
Oh my
Just
god, I think
slightly.
I was thinking that too.
Like, his voice, especially back then, really sounded like Evan Peters. And I think Evan Peters is the modern Billy Crystal.
He was so funny in this movie. I loved how, like, witty he was. It was really funny.
I love his lines. I love
Like-
all of his lines.
Like he was like a sarcastic asshole. It was, and sometimes, like, the whole bit where he would say something completely wrong and he would get corrected, he'd be like, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
keep going. That was my favorite bit.
Yeah, me too.
No, he was so funny in this. That's, like, probably
It's
one of the
kinda
most
like-
I've liked an asshole character.
You've been watching the Percy Jackson TV show, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what Dionysus does. He's like, oh, Perry Johnson. And he's like, Percy Jackson. He's like, yeah, I said that.
And no, but it's even funnier when Percy goes, did you though?
When Harry Met Sally. This movie, I love this movie.
What makes it different from other rom-coms that you like
I
this?
think it's because it's less cringy. Like, now, I can't watch a rom-com without literally physically cringing.
So are you good with,
This
like,
movie I
a lot
loved.
of older rom-coms, like Sleepless in Seattle and, like, that type of...
Maybe. I don't know.
We should try watching older rom-coms, because a lot of them are just like this movie. Like, this had a very similar vibe.
Like, I've watched a lot of new rom-coms, and I physically convulse.
No, new rom-coms
how cringy they
are
are.
cringy.
And it's disgusting. And so that's why I don't like them. But this one I love. Because it's not cringy and it's actually funny. And I just love Harry's character so much. And I love his lines.
I love how, like, I love both of the characters. I love how, like, particular Sally's character is. Like, that was just funny. And I like how sarcastic
They're
Harry
also,
is.
like, very... In the beginning especially, they're very stereotypical man-woman because she's, like, overbearing and complicated. And he's carefree and annoying. And they're just kind of like... They're just... they're like... But they, like...
I like seeing
go
them
so well
mature.
with each other.
Yeah, they complement each other so
Yeah.
well while being so opposite. I like that they were friends first. Like, I like that they were genuinely friends for, like, 2 full years
Yeah.
before getting together.
But-
That was so cute.
I also realized that anytime they would talk with each other, they would only talk about sex and relationships. That's the only thing they would ever talk about.
Man, I sure hope
Ever.
that after 2 years they talked about other things.
They didn't. They never did. They either
Rip.
talked about their friend's relationship or how his old, like, ex-wife's relationship, or they talked about, like, how men can't be friends with women without having a romantic feeling for them. That's, like, the only thing they ever talked about. They never talked about anything else other than relationships and sex.
That's kind of funny. I mean, it is, like, the plot of the movie. Didn't have time to show other stuff, I guess. But it would have been nice just to see him, like, hanging out normally.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that, like, viral post about the sweater that he wears?
Yes.
About how they don't make sweaters with that quality really anymore, especially not one that you can get for
Yes.
cheap. Like, I mean, not cheap, but it's
Yes.
like a normal clothing price. Like, you have to spend a lot of money to get a sweater of that quality, anything close to that quality,
Yes.
when that was, like, the standard at that time.
That would be like a $200 sweater today.
Yeah, like, but, like, if you just buy, like, a normal $50 sweater, it's, like, it's shit. Like, it's not
Yeah.
thick and cozy. It's just, it's, like, it's
Yeah.
cheap and thin.
It's like thin, it's got holes in it, it starts unraveling after like the second
Like,
wash.
yeah, it's
and you're
not, like,
ugh.
warm and thick like it should be. And
Yeah.
I want that sweater so badly, but it's, like, hundreds
It's
of
like-
dollars now. That's what I
it's
think
like the
about when I
difference-
watch this movie.
It's like the difference between women's flannels and men's flannels, because my mom buys me women's flannels, and they're thick, or they're thin, they're like super thin and they're see-through. But when I buy a men's flannel, they're thick and they're warm, and they actually are meant to keep you warm, like a little light jacket. But women's flannels are literally just for fashion, and they're so thin and they could never keep you warm. And that's how I relate to it. I just want men's flannels.
Yeah, that's why I'm a man, actually. I transitioned to the flannels.
Just for the flannels.
But no, I want his sweater so bad. It's very, like, good vibes.
Me too.
It's good vibes.
I feel like their relationship, as I was watching it, is kind of like a bouncing ball. Like, when they met, they kind of like threw the ball, and it kept bouncing and bouncing as they got closer and closer. The bounce started to turn into like a little dribble, and then when they got together at the end, when they realized they loved each other, after like they slept with each other, that dribble turned into like a roll, and the ball starts finally rolling. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, actually, I do love you, and we should get married and love each other." That's how I saw the relationship.
I agree. My favorite part of the movie, like, I liked the movie, but I loved all the different cutscenes of the couples talking about, like, how they met. I thought that was adorable.
Oh yeah, between
Did
each
you know that those
time period?
It was actors, but did you know those were real interviews? Like, they did real interviews and real couples, and then had actors just, like, replicate the interview. Like, those were real stories, and that's so sweet.
I just realized that Carrie Fisher's in this movie after like watching it.
I
for
knew
the
she
third
was
time.
immediately. I was watching it and I was like, nah, I know she looks familiar, and I looked it up and I was like, Leia. I was so sure.
Yeah. I just didn't recognize her without like long hair.
No, it was like it was like a weird like uncanny valley effect. I was like, that's Leia, but it's not.
I feel like this movie had a really good outdated lessons, like relationship lessons. Like if someone were to watch this in like the early 2000s, they'd be writing all this shit down. But like now it's like super outdated because we've grown from that. But it was more like leaning towards a traditional relationship of like man work, woman serve type thing, where women would look towards it in like the slightly older, like millennials would have ate that shit up, but us now we're like, no, we absolutely not.
It was kind of outdated, but it was sweet.
Yeah. Also, oh my God, my favorite scene in the movie was when they were at that football game. Was it a football game or a soccer game? I don't remember. But when Harry and his friend were at the football game, and he was like explaining that he was like divorcing his wife, and the whole stadium was doing the wave, and he was just telling his friend that he was getting a divorce, and they kept doing the wave. That's literally peak comedy. That was the funniest thing.
No, this was such a funny movie. A lot of movies from this time period are so genuinely funny. Like, I was watching the Santa Claus, 'cause Christmas, and some of the lines were just hilarious in a way that modern comedy is just cringy. Like, it doesn't compare.
Yeah.
They don't make comedy like the 80s and 90s anymore.
They really don't. You know what also falls under the stereotypes of this?
What?
Oh my God. Okay. Like Harry's apartment, when you first see it, it's literally just an armchair and a TV and a bed.
Oh my God, you're so right.
And that's like man apartment. But if you go over to Sally's apartment, she's got furniture and like side tables and bookshelves, and I think his apartment's empty because his wife took everything.
Oh, probably.
But I like that he only had an armchair, a TV, and a bed. And I don't think he ever upgraded from that until...
I like the bit with the friends who, like, were getting married, were, like, trying to decorate their house together and, like, fighting over the table.
Oh, yeah.
I like the table.
I didn't like the table.
That's because I'm a man.
That's true.
It's a man table.
True. I like how Harry was like, his friend was like, you said you liked the table, and Harry's like, I was just being nice.
And when they were talking about how, like, they would fight over it in the divorce, and she was like, no, I'd never want the table.
I wouldn't even. You can keep it. You can have the table. Oh, also my favorite part from my favorite scene at the football game, right before they started doing the wave again, he was explaining how he, like, slept with a woman. Or no, was it this during the football? I don't think it was, but it was also one of my favorite scenes was, I think they were actually, what were they doing? I think they were just on a walk together or something. But it was really funny because Harry was talking about how he's like sleeping with women and how he's like really good at sex or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I made this woman meow. And his friend's like, you made a woman meow? And like,
oh my god, he like repeated it.
Drop that. He's like, yeah, I just like, and like women, blah, 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 women. He's like, you made a woman meow? He said it like 4 times. And I was like,
that reminds me, I think my favorite scene was when the girl was showing that she could fake an orgasm.
Oh yeah, in the restaurant.
And then,
yeah, that's also a good scene.
And then that's fine, but then immediately, that was like funny, but then right after, when the waitress is going to take the order from this other lady, and she's like, I'll have what she's having, thinking it was about the food. That was comedy. That was comedy.
That was really good. That was really good.
And then that also reminded me of when like Harry and Sally were fighting about how like she's not moved on because she hasn't had sex with anyone else yet. And he was like, see, I've moved on, I've had sex. And she was like, you're gonna have to start going to a different state soon because you've slept with every woman in this one.
Yeah. This movie has the best jokes. Literally.
Man.
What
comedy.
happened?
What happened to comedy? No, because I was watching, like, the original Iron Man trilogy a couple weeks ago. And it's so much funnier compared to the newer Marvel movies that do, like, Disney comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's not funny, but, like, they just do too much of it in the newer ones when they have, like, a couple good lines, but it's, like, they do too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Like, I eat up the bit in Infinity War about, like, when Peter Parker's talking to Doctor Strange. Like, I think that's hilarious. But at some point in the newer movies, it's just too much. But, and then I just, like, go back and watch, like, the original Iron Man movies, and I'm like, wow, this is normal comedy, and it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the Disneyification of movies and franchises.
Right?
Oh, a cute scene that I liked was when they were singing karaoke in that store together, and then Harry runs into his ex-wife, and first off, she left you for a bald man? That's...
He must make bank.
Sad. He must make bank. But then he also uses that same song to, like, call Sally over the phone. He, like, calls her over the phone, like, a billion times, and then he starts singing the song.
I loved when he did that.
And then she, like, finally picks up because he was singing the song or whatever.
That was so cute.
I love that. That was so cute. That was such a good, what's it called? I forgot. My brain isn't working. I got sick brain.
Sick brain. Bro, playing a games with you is gonna be funny with your sick brain.
Sick brain.
Do you have any other notes on the movie you would like to address?
I like that Harry wears sweaters all the time. He's never not wearing a sweater.
It's so funny because he's such an asshole that, like, and sweaters are usually, like soft guy.
Soft boy.
Yeah, but he's not a soft boy. He's a little shit.
Not.
But then he just wears the soft boy aesthetic all the time, and it throws you off, but it's a vibe. Like, when I wear a sweater, I don't feel like asshole Harry. I feel like soft boy, you know?
Soft boy, yeah.
It's so interesting. Maybe I need to buy his $200 sweater and then see how I feel.
Do it.
I'll be a rich asshole.
Be like, oh, you see my sweater? It's $200 because it's the one from When Harry Met Sally.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. After they had sex, they stopped talking about relationships and sex. But they also started hanging out less because they were like, fuck, we slept with each other. But they stopped talking about sex.
Was so sad at that miscommunication. Like, they both just kind of, like, freaked out about having sex with each other, and then it, like, messed up their friendship, and it made me so sad.
Yeah.
But, like, it wasn't the sex, it was just the fact that they both freaked out about it.
Oh my god, I love the ending when he runs to her at the party, and he lists all the things that he loves about her.
Yeah.
He's like, I like that it takes you 30 minutes to order a sandwich. I fucking love that. He's like, I love when you get
so
cold
when
it's 70 degrees outside. I love when I don't know. But it was like, oh man, I fucking love him so. He notices the little things and he loves them, and I love him. I love him so much.
Is that how you want someone to confess their love to you?
Yes. And list all the little things that they notice about me that they like.
That's what the
sometimes
file
are
cabinet
annoying, but
episode
they're
is going to
good.
be about. You don't like medicine.
Just someone professes their love. You don't like taking pain medication.
You
You don't like
that you don't like
rom-coms.
taking pain medication, and you hate rom-coms except for When Harry Met Sally, which I'm quoting right now. And you don't like this Disneyification of franchises.
I'd be like, fucking marry me. Literally.
Who is your favorite character? Harry.
Definitely Harry.
I knew you would say that. It's also my favorite character.
Harry's character is just so well written, and I just love him so much.
I do relate to Sally's, like, type A personality, though.
Yeah.
That's me. Okay, what are you rating this movie?
I'll rate it a good solid.
A solid? Not a liquid or a gas rating, you sure?
Maybe a plasma rating of.
Oh.
I'll give it a good plasma
Oh,
rating.
wow.
Of
A good plasma.
4.8.
4.8. Wow.
4.8.
That's a high rating for you.
That's a high rating. It is a high rating.
I'm gonna give it a 4.3.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Happy New Year. It's 2024. Go enjoy. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Is the New Year Time's birthday?
Yes.
Is
I was gonna say it's Jesus' birthday, but no, that's Christmas. Yeah, I suppose it is. You know, it's like the circle that we go around.
calendar's
It's the orbit's birthday. Every time we go around the sun, it's
the Earth's birthday?
it's the orbit, like the circle. It's the orbit's birthday.
It's Earth's orbit's birthday.
Yeah.
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 Happy birthday, Earth's
Happy
orbit.
birthday, Earth's orbit. You're so
you.
stupid.
2024 BCE. Congratulations.
Happy Hanukkah, that passed. I was trying to think.
That
I was
was
going to
like
say
4
Happy
weeks
New
ago.
Year, but then it's like it is New Year, so it's not as funny to say Happy New Year as it would be if it wasn't
Happy New
Year's.
Year.
Bye.
Bye.